Chapter 31. Black Rock Wooden Spear Shot Handle. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Translator. Nyo I.bo Studio Editor. Nyo I.bo Studio. Yi Mo left Shao Mansion, and Leng Leng also returned to her family. Xiao Yu was somewhat happy with the azure light sword. The sword is aesthetically pleasing and emits a cyan glow, which looks gorgeous. Xiao Yu couldn't help but dance the Xiao family sword technique in the back garden. The sword is like ice, where every trick brings feelings of coldness, freezing every living thing and sealing every blood leak. Xiao Yu held the azure light sword and stood in the back garden. She was like a beautiful sculpture with prestige aura surrounding her. All of a sudden, a piece of leaf floated on top of Xiao Yu's head. Xiao Yu's eyebrows frowned, and ice blue Yuanli rushed into the azure light sword. The sword shimmered and gave off a buzz, as Xiao Yu swung the sword out, tearing the void, against a distant boulder. The boulder was cut in half swiftly, with some ice condensing on the surface. When I use a high-grade mortal weapon before, a boulder can be smashed into pieces, but with this high-grade magic weapon, the boulder can directly be cut into two pieces. Xiao Yu looked at the azure light sword in his hand and smiled. She is now unafraid of facing warriors of spirit cultivating third realm. The azure light sword is full of powerful, and the increase on the yielder's attack is terrifying. This Yi Mo, what kind of person is he? Xiao Yu looked at the weapon in her hand, and thought of Yi Mo, who had such talents, was unknown to all for 5 years. People like him should have become a popular figure in Limestone City. Yu, I heard that you have acknowledged an alchemist master as your teacher, and this alchemist master has also given this azure light sword to you. Xiao Yuanshan looked upright and approached at a slow pace. The face of fortitude was full of smiles. Xiao Yu could get to know an alchemist master of the true energy realm. This kind of karma is unusual, and given that Xiao Yu is a sealing artist, her future can be said to be boundless. Recalling the reminders before Yi Mo's departure, Xiao Yu nodded and said, "Yes, this azure light sword is the high-grade magic weapon of the recent Limestone City's rumors. When the master knew that I liked the sword, he bought it for me. Yu, quickly tell me about how you met this alchemist master of the true energy realm. If my Xiao family can get this master to join us, we will easily be able to become the top family of Limestone City." Xiao Yuanshan said with eyes filled with excitement. "Father, the master has an eccentric temper. Given how high his cultivation level is, how would our Xiao family be able to keep him with us?" Xiao Yu said. "Right, I was a bit befuddled. For now, we can only depend on Ling Feng." Xiao Yuanshan shook his head and said, "Father, I haven't told you yet, I have invited a third foreign aide. He is the son of the genius, Yi Qing's son, named Yi Mo. He has extraordinary talents. Along with the azure light sword, we must be able to enter the top 5 of the limestone champion list." Xiao Yu said. "Yi Mo, isn't that guy a rubbish? How did he become one with extraordinary talents as said? Do not gamble your life on a rubbish." Xiao Yuanshan said solemnly. "Father, he is no rubbish. I will let him come to see you tomorrow, and I am sure he'll be going to surprise you." Xiao Yu smiled. Xiao Yuanshan looked at the smile that he had never seen before on her daughter's face, with a heart being comforted. Because of being troubled by the poisonous curse, she could not choose but to wear the veil every day, so it was seldom for such bright smiles on her face. He would like to see what magic powers this Yi Mo possessed that can make his daughter like so. Yi Mo left the Xiao mansion with the tiger head mask, and walked to the 100 Treasure Pavilion. Now with the spearhead, of course he wanted to forge a good spear handle to go with it. As Yi Mo entered the pavilion, he removed his mask. The pavilion was still as usual very lively, full of people chatting about the auction. There were no strong artists of the true energy realm in Limestone City before, thus it became a hot topic. The spearhead had been dispelled of the murderous aura, losing its original appearance and showing a color of yellow. Even if being taken out, there would still be no one who could recognize that this spearhead is the weapon that even energy-shaping ninth realm martial artists were unable to deal with. Yi Mo walked through the crowd and went straight to the weapons store. "I would like to purchase a spear handle," Yi Mo said. "Little brother, I have a spear handle of mid-grade mortal weapon level here, made out of tungsten iron. There are also high-grade mortal weapon level spear handles upstairs, made out of black iron. See which spear handle you would like." A staff of the shop said, as he took out a black spear handle from a corner. Judging by how the staff struggled to lift the spear handle, it must weigh more than 100 pounds. This is a spear handle made of tungsten iron, weighing 120 pounds, and a spear handle made of black iron at high-grade mortal weapon level, weighing 200 pounds. "I can't even lift it, hee. The staff said with a smile. "Where is the spearhead of high-grade mortal weapon level? Let me go and try it," Yi Mo said. The staff pointed at a corner of the shop, where a lustrous silver spear handle was leaning over there. Yi Mo walked over, held the handle, and the feel was just right. As Yi Mo lifted it, it was indeed a bit heavy, so he activated one mortal gate, with the power of one stone that is 120 pounds. However, as he tried to lift the weapon did not move at all. Yi Mo called upon another dragon force, surging his strength to be of 2 stones, and the black iron spear handle was lifted up. As the staff standing on the side saw the scene, his eyes nearly fell off. This spear handle could only be lifted up by spirit-cultivating second-realm martial artists. "This spear handle is good, how much is it?" Yi Mo said. "This spear handle, 50 pieces of gold." The staff said. "Little brother, this spear handle is not suitable for you." A familiar voice sounded, and Qiying once again approached whilst twisting her soft waist. "This gun is only of mortal level, but the spearhead is at least of a high-grade magic weapon level. The two cannot go with each other, and the spear handle made of black iron is not flexible. As one uses them together, the best effect cannot be achieved. Do you have a better spear handle?" Yi Mo asked. Qiying said at the auction that she had tried forging together spear handles of magic weapon level with the spearhead. "Follow me," Qiying said while bringing Yi Mo to the second floor of the 100 Treasure Pavilion, where there was no one else. "Little brother, aren't you afraid that I will tell others of your secret of disguising as a true energy realm martial artist?" Qiying brought Yi Mo to a room, where all kinds of weapons were displayed and surfaces emitted waves of yuanli. "Then I shall screw you now." Yi Mo smiled lightly. "You little devil, have you even got your pubic hair all grown? I think you haven't even touched a woman before." Qiying continued to laugh at Yi Mo. "I will touch you now then." Yi Mo waved his arm while 3 dragon powers surged to the right man mortal gate, reaching towards Qiying's chest. Qiying still had a smile on her face and flew into mid-air, as she bent her legs and jumped. A pair of black butterfly wings formed behind her back, her butterfly wings flapped in the air like a butterfly elf, blasting strong winds at Yi Mo, forcing him to be blown back a few steps. This woman is really not simple. Yuanli transformation and wings formation are means which only martial artists of energy shaping 6th realm or higher can use. At the auction, Yi Quan also formed a red wing of fire with Yuanli, flew in the air, which allowed him to easily dodge others' attacks. "Little brother is so lustful. Attacking my chest without hesitation." Qiying unhurriedly landed, disappeared her the butterfly wings, and kicked out a red-black long spear head at Yi Mo. Yi Mo grabbed the center of the red-black long spear head with one hand and fell back for a few meters. The entire spear handle formed a huge arc, and as Yi Mo stabilized his body, the spear handle flexed again with amazing elasticity. This spearhead is made of black rock wood, mid-grade magic weapon level, of amazing flexibility. It is the perfect match for the spearhead. Yi Mo looked at the gun and was very satisfied. The elasticity of the gun must be perfect. With little flexibility, as a shot is made, it might have adverse effect on the yielder's hands. The weight of this spear handle is also about 200 pounds. With 3 dragon powers, Yi Mo could easily yield it. Tell me your conditions. Yi Mo retracted the spear handle and said faintly. Advantages are of course not easy to be gained. This Qi Ying had benefited him for several times already, and it is certain that these are not because of Qi Yi's likes for Yi Mo. I just like to do business with a smart person like you. Your spearhead is from the entrance of a cave in the Nether Valley. I went and checked the cave before. The murderous aura was 100 times more concentrated than the spearhead, but I have a feeling that the contents of the cave must be extraordinary. 3 days from now, you will go with me to the Nether Valley. You will be responsible for dealing with the murderous aura, and we will equally divide the treasures inside. Chapter 32. Humane Injustice. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Translator. Nyo I.bo Studio Editor. Nyo I.bo Studio. Yi Mo walked out of the 100 Treasure Pavilion with a huge wooden box. In this wooden box, there lied the spear that Yi Mo successfully forged. The technique Yi Mo learned was called the Formation Breaking Spear technique, so he named the spear as the Formation Breaking Spear. Formation breaking is the killing of thousands of enemies, or even taking away countless lives, matching the power of this spear. The spearhead has an evil sense of murderous aura, which must have been stained with countless blood. It might be possible that the Formation Breaking Spear technique is used by the same powerful martial artist. Carrying the wooden box, Yi Mo wanted to test how powerful this spear is. The spear is different from other weapons, as Sodot called the month boxing, the year sword, and the 10,000 days spear. The spear is the most difficult to use amongst all weapons. In military camps, soldiers all used spears, but they only had one trick of a straight strike. Under many years of practice, a strike will bring strong momentum with an invincible might, directly piercing through the enemy's steel shields. The use of spears is changeable. It may strike, it may stab, it may chop, and it may dance. Actual spear masters can combine their bodies with their spears, and treat millions of enemies as if air. Yi Mo walked into the Yi mansion from the backyard, and by having a wooden box on his back attracted a lot of attention. This rubbish is quite clever, knowing that the old man is going to die, hence preparing him a coffin. This coffin seems to be a bit small. After Yi Mo hearing those words, his face dramatically changed, and instantly rushed to the front of that worker. 3 dragon powers immediately broke out, and held that worker who had not even reached the spirit-cultivating realm up with one hand. Tell me what happened. The worker looked at Yi Mo's face and felt the momentum that Yi Mo emitted. The momentum was like of a wild beast, keeping him from breathing normally. Go have a look at the old man Fu. He should be out of breath already. Yi Mo swung the worker away with one hand and quickly went into the room with the wooden box on his back. Outside the room, it was full of blood, as if someone was dragged into the room. When not even close to the room, the poor cries of Xiao Chao could already be heard. Grandpa, please don't die. What would I do if you die, oh? Bang! The door was burst open. Yi Mo walked into the room with his eyes wet, as he looked at the old man on the floor. The old man's face was already unformed, hands and feet broken, the floor was full of blood, and he was out of breath. His look was very terrifying. Xiao Chao, what the hell happened? Yi Mo shouted loudly. Oh! Master Yi Mo, we were innocent, we did not break Yi Ho's jade cup. Grandfather and I were innocent, we were innocent. After seeing Yi Mo, Xiao Chao cried even louder. Xiao Chao's body was injured as well, as her face was full of wounds and blood clots were all over her body. Yi Ho and Yi Ming were playing with an expensive jade cup in Xiao Mansion, when Uncle Fu and Xiao Chao passed by. Yi Ho deliberately bumped into Fu Bo and Xiao Chao, breaking the jade cup. Yi Ho and Yi Ming then said that Fu Bo bumped into him, causing the cup to be broken. The two denied, so Yi Ho and Yi Ming attacked the two. As Uncle Fu wanted to protect Xiao Chao, as well as because of his age, he was killed by Yi Ho and Yi Ming in the beating. In Tianwu Kingdom, the life of a servant cannot match a jade cup. Yi Ho beating Uncle Fu to death has a reason, so the chiefs will not blame him. L.RG Of course, the two did this to agitate Yi Mo. Xiao Chao explained intermittently and Yi Mo was able to comprehend. How would the two of them be a match for Yi Ho and Yi Ming? Yi Mo immediately fell to the ground and cried aloud. Uncle Fu, you have been working hard for a lifetime, but resulted in such desperate ending. I will take the lives of Yi Ho and Yi Ming for you. Yi Mo stood up, kicked open the wooden box with one foot, and a red-black spear appeared. Xiao Chao looked at Yi Mo and immediately dragged Yi Mo, cryingly said. Master Yi Mo, please do not be impulsive. Grandfather reminded me again and again before his death, as he understands your temper, that you should not go find them for revenge. Xiao Chao, in this time of humane unfairness, I will fight for a fairness for us. The Yi Ming brothers are always looking for trouble from me, and deliberately killing Uncle Fu was also an act to agitate me. Today, I shall avenge Uncle Fu. Go to the 100 Treasure Pavilion to look for Miss Chi Ying and tell her that I am in trouble in the Yi Mansion. As Yi Mo said, he carried the formation, breaking spear and left the room. It was the stage of time now when direct disciples practiced. So almost everyone were at the martial training tower. Yi Mo carried the formation. Breaking spear, with a murderous momentum, went straight for the martial training tower. Several Yi family disciples guarding the martial training tower saw Yi Mo rushing in angrily, thus could not help but fear, as they had a feeling that they were facing a savage beast without conscience. Yi Mo, what are you trying to do? This martial arts tower cannot be accessed by you indirect disciples. Yi Mo did not respond, but waved the spear at them. It was like the dragon swinging its tail, an arc of flash shined, and the Yi family disciples spit blood and flew back. Several Yi family disciples around saw that and immediately said in anger. Yi Mo, assaulted a disciple without consent, should be punished by whipping. Whipping. What is the penalty for killing a person? As Yi Mo said, the formation, breaking spear in his hand knocked on the ground, breaking out waves of air from Yi Mo's side, and the ground began to shake. Yi Mo was like a battlefield general, as if a god of killing. All the people in the martial training tower listen up. Today, I, Yi Mo, is only wanting Yi Ming and Yi Ho's lives. Everyone else evacuate this place, otherwise you will face death. Boom. Yi Mo's voice was like a bomb, along with the loud noise of the spear striking the group, shaking everyone's hearts. All the disciples who were in the martial training tower, were all with at least the spirit cultivating first realm strength, ones with greater strength were even at the spirit cultivating sixth realm. How could this Yi Mo dare to say such thing and want to kill Yi Ming and Yi Ho? Quickly, summon some people here. This Yi Mo has gone crazy. What are you afraid of? This Yi Mo didn't even get his mortal gates opened. If he didn't get his mortal gates open, how would he be able to lift that long spear? That spear looks like at least 200 pounds heavy. Quickly go and notify Yi Ho brother, this guy had gone mad. We have a group of people, why are we afraid of him? Let's go and capture him already. One of the spirit cultivating second realm disciples attacked at Yi Mo. Being confident in himself, he attacked with his bare hands, striking at Yi Mo with one palm. Yi Mo looked at that disciple, and controlled two dragon powers respectively to his brain and right hand. His reaction speed was instantaneously accelerated, he waved his formation, breaking spear, and stabbed at that disciple directly. This strike, like a dragon swimming out of sea, was extremely explosive. Two dragon powers are already equal to the power of the spirit cultivating second realm, along with the formation, breaking spear, that disciple is just no match for Yi Mo. The spirit cultivating second realm disciple did not expect Yi Mo to retaliate this fast. The spear weighed about 200 pounds, but Yi Mo waved it in his hands as if air. That disciple immediately extracted Yuan Lin dodged sideways, but still was hit by his shoulders, spurting out blood and flesh. The disciples of spirit cultivating first realm around were shocked. Isn't Yi Mo a waste? How could he easily hit Yi Hu of the spirit cultivating second realm? I said, I only want Yi Ho and Yi Ming's lives. Others should give way now. That guy's weapon must be a magic weapon full of power. Everyone, let's attack together and take his weapon. Yi Hu said loudly. At the same time a dozen of disciples heard the words and striked at Yi Mo with their mortal weapons. Come at me together, how would I Yi Mo be afraid? Yi Mo roared, holding the formation, breaking spear in both hands, and directly charged into the martial training tower. Chapter 33 Blood Dying Tower. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translator Nyo.bo Studio Editor Nyo.bo Studio. This Yi Mo is just too arrogant, let's surround him and keep him from releasing his punches. Yi Hu angrily screamed, and dozens of Yi family disciples with swords and blades surrounded Yi Mo. How could a kid who did not even reach the spirit cultivating realm dare to be this arrogant with a magic weapon? The brain and the right hand mortal gates each summon for 2 dragon powers respectively. Yi Mo's attacks were comparable to spirit cultivating second realm warriors. With the formation, breaking spear, he could even fight warriors of the spirit cultivating third realm. Even though Yi Mo did not activate his legs' mortal gates, do not forget that the technique Yi Mo practices is the formation, breaking spear technique, of mid-grade spiritual level. Yi Mo was surrounded by dozens of spirit cultivating first realm warriors, as if a general who fought alone on the battlefield. Today, he will break formations, break this Yi family of unfairness. Yi Mo single-handedly waved his spear, and stabbed at a spirit cultivating first realm Yi family disciple in front of him, like a wild beast. The disciple did not react at all, and the formation, breaking spear stabbed into his chest. Everyone around the scene witnessed, and attacked Yi Mo with their martial techniques. Yi Mo drew out the formation, breaking spear and twirled it back like a dragon's tail. The sounds of the spear against the air was like a dragon roaring. Bang bang bang. Several disciples behind Yi Mo were hit and flew back, falling on the ground and bled. Only by one trick, a half of the Yi family disciples were already injured. The others were shocked and retreated as they perceived what happened. Yi Mo was just horrifying, a spear with such weight, in his hands was just like nothing. Yi Mo, what are you doing? Quickly drop your weapon, and I will ask Uncle Yi to spare your life. Yi Ming and Yi Ho slowly came over with faces of satiric grins. They designed the incident of Uncle Fu, and Yi Mo really was agitated enough to enter the martial training tower. In this case, even if Elder Yin came forward to beg for mercy, Yi Mo would still unable to be protected. As Yi Mo die, all the treasures on him will belong to the Yi brothers. Yi Ming and Yi Mo's uncle Yi Shao, who is also Yi Mei's father, is the master of the criminal court, in control of all the punishments of the Yi family. Drop my weapon. That depends on whether you can force me to. Yi Mo carried the formation, breaking spear and striked at Yi Ming and Yi Ho. The spearhead of the formation, breaking spear, sucked in blood, and started to emit a faint murderous aura. Yi Mo, now that you have injured others, even if I kill you, I won't be blamed by the superiors. Yi Ho took out a red sword, which exudes a faint red gleam, as if able to illuminate the whole martial pavilion. That's the low-grade magic weapon, the fire spirit sword. I can't imagine Master Yi Di passing this sword to Yi Ho. Yi Ho himself already reached the spirit cultivating third realm, along with the enhances of the fire spirit sword, even spirit cultivating fourth realm warriors may not be a match for him. This Yi Mo is so dead. Want to kill me? Just by you. Which one of you were the first to beat Uncle Fu? Yi Mo said disdainfully. Ha, a cheap servant only, what about it if it's me? Yi Ming, who was standing aside, said. Yi Mo did not reply, and answered with a black shadow of his. There were three main tricks in the formation, breaking spear technique, as the Sodat called formation, breaking, is to ignore the thousands of troops and directly go for the head of the enemy leader's head. Yi Mo held the formation, breaking spear in both hands, jumped, spinned in the air, and targeted at Yi Ming. The spearhead of the formation, breaking spear formed a spiral of Yuanli wave, like a dragon flying out of the sea. As Yi Ming stared at this trick, he felt like it was not a person who was approaching, but a beast, a dragon. His feet were as if stick to the floor, wanted to escape but cannot. The spearhead of the formation, breaking spear had tasted countless blood, thus contained a murderous momentum in it. This murderous momentum is the momentum of death, the momentum of blood, absorbing one's souls. Yi Ming was only a spirit-cultivating first-realm warrior, so his soul was already shocked in fear by this murderous momentum. You want to hurt my brother? You have to go through me. Yi Ho roared, with red-colored Yuanli continuously injecting into the fire spirit sword, swung the sword at Yi Mo. A red-colored sword gleam with heat struck at Yi Mo's waist. Yi Mo once again summoned the last two dragon powers, respectively to the brain and right hand mortal gates. Yi Mo's rotation speed accelerated again, his speed also increasing, evaded the sword gleam, and stabbed right into Yi Ming's arm with his spear. Ah! Yi Ming screamed in pain, and pulled out the formation, breaking spear out with one hand. A flying knife was drawn out, and bashed at Yi Mo. King! Yi Mo easily tilted his spear, and that low-grade magic weapon was knocked away by Yi Mo. Yi Mo, last chance, if you stop now, you still have a chance of survival. Yi Ho instantly rushed to the front of Yi Ming and said with anger. The Yuanli in his body constantly surged into the fire spirit sword, making the sword glue and made loud noises. Huh, stop. When both of you were beating Uncle Fu and Xiao Chao, did you ever think of stopping? The spear handle shook again, breaking the rock slate below Yi Mo's feet. This sound shocked the souls of all the disciples present. Brother, kill him, this guy has already gone crazy. Yi Ming was in a pale face with a painful shoulder, and said. Yi Ho's face unchanged, and said. Then I will capture you in the name of the Yi family. Yi Ho began waving the fire spirit sword, where waves of fire flashed. Around the fire spirit sword were also 5 other swords, where 3 of them combined into one, along with a terrifying momentum, striked out. That's our Yi family's 6-pillar sword style. Yi Ho can already form the triad. When the triad combine into one, it is comparable to spiritual level martial techniques. This sword cannot be dealt with even for spirit-cultivating 5th realm warriors. The surrounding disciples were all surprised. Yi Ho is a genius of the Yi family, with the strength second only to Yi Changsheng. As he uses all different kinds of techniques, his strength amazes all. This sword was like a flame of hell. The surrounding temperature suddenly rose and the air was torn open. Looking at the sword stabbing right at him, Yi Mo did not move an inch. The 3 dragon powers of the right-hand mortal gate all roared and rushed into the formation, breaking spear, turning the spear into black in color. Yi Mo guarded his lower half, stroked 2 spears out, as if 2 dragons flying out and combining into a single dragon. The striking of 2 spear tricks could overlap into a single spear. As a spear was striked out, it was like thousands of horses galloping along with stormy waves. There are 3 main moves in the formation, breaking spear technique. The first move is the dragon out of sea, and the second, double dragon strike. It looks like only a strike of a single spear, but in fact Yi Mo had already stabbed 2 shots in a row, and the power increased as the 2 shots overlapped. The fire spirit sword and the formation, breaking spear collided together, where the fire red Yuanli and the black colored Yuanli formed 2 arcs. A shrill sound resonated, the air exploded, and the 2 both tasted a bit of sweet in their throats. How will the power of dragons be faceable by you? Yi Mo roared, rushing the three dragon powers of the right-hand mortal gate into the formation, breaking spear. The spearhead turned into a dragon. Ha! The sword fell on the ground, and the person flew back. Yi Ho flew out and fell to the ground, vomiting blood. Due to the loss of dragon powers, Yi Mo's momentum fell as well. Everyone around were overwhelmed. Yi Ho is the second genius of the Yi family, but lost to Yi Mo, who could not activate a single mortal gate in 5 years. As Yi Ming saw how his genius brother lost in Yi Mo's hand, he was shunned as well. He bit his teeth, and shorted. Brothers, this guy does not have any Yuanli left anymore. Let's kill him now together. The strategy for now is to delay him, until the elders of Yi family arrive and stop Yi Mo. I will kill you now. Yi Mo shouted, and the tired rising dragon pillar instantly added 6 dragon powers out in reinforcement. The 6 dragon powers respectively surged to the brain and the right-hand mortal gates, and Yi Mo's momentum rose from witheredness again. Chapter 34. What constitutes a genius? You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Translator. Nyo.bo Studio Editor. Nyo.bo Studio. Upon hearing that, the Yi disciples immediately charged towards Yi Mo. However, when they got closer to him, they were all knocked back by the formation, breaking spear. As their blood splattered everywhere, they fell onto the ground and moaned in pain. Yi Mo gathered up the power of the 3 dragons. Coupled with the formation, breaking spear, with just one wave of his arm, these spirit-cultivating first-realm Yi disciples didn't stand a chance against him. He slowly approached Yi Ming, akin to the descendant of gods, and said icily, "Kill me. I will kill you first." Yi Mo lifted his spear and thrusted it into Yi Ming's brains without an ounce of pity. Yi Ming's head nearly exploded, and as he fell to the ground, his eyes betrayed the extreme terror he felt. The Yi Mo he was staring at right now was like the devil himself, a horrifying beast, and he fully believed that Yi Mo did intend to murder him. Yi Mo, if you kill Yi Ming, you will definitely not be leaving the Yi clan. Yi Ho slowly stood up. The previous attack had already depleted all his Yuanli. Yi Mo, on the other hand, was still filled with energy despite the intense battle, almost as if he had an inexhaustible Yuanli reserve. Haha. You won't be alive for long either, Yi Mo cackled, hurling his spear at the collapsed Yi Ming once more. No, Yi Mo. Please, I beg you not to kill me. Yi Ming was utterly frightened. His body was trembling with fear as he laid on the floor, begging pathetically, like a dog on the brink of death. When you attacked Uncle Fu and Xiao Chao, did you once think about sparing them? Yi Mo sneered. To everyone's horror, he slammed his spear down on Yi Ming, droplets of blood splattering everywhere. As Yi Ming's vision became blurry, flashbacks of his mistreatment of Yi Mo surfaced in his mind. Memories of him taunting Yi Mo, and other instances of how he robbed Yi Mo of his valuables, all came rushing back. And at this moment, he finally came to realize that he messed with someone who he never should have crossed. Brother. Seeing Yi Mo kill his own brother, Yi Ho shouted, his eyes red. Gathering the last vestiges of his Yuanli, he held tight onto the sword of living flames and rushed towards Yi Mo. Stubborn fool. Holding his formation, breaking spear, Yi Mo charged towards Yi Ho. The spear broke free from Yi Mo's grasp and shot towards Yi Ho like an arrow. Yi Ho's pupils dilated in fear as he stared at the spear sailing through the air. You wretch! Not even 100 lives of yours is worth one of the Yi clan's prodigy. Suddenly, a mighty roar sounded from within the martial training tower. A fiery red shield materialized behind Yi Ho, and the formation, breaking spear collided with the shield in a crash. A crack formed on the shield, and the spear was repelled outwards and stabbed the ground. It's Master Yi Xiao. One of the disciples cried out. Yi Mo shot a look at the glowing red shield that was protecting Yi Ho. This was a technique wielded by those who had mastered the energy-shaping realm, where their Yuanli could manifest itself into a distinct form, such as a machete, a sword, a shield, or functional wings, and could even function as a probe, rendering its users far superior to those in the spirit-cultivating realm. Yi Clan's prodigy. What constitutes a prodigy? Your so-called prodigy has lost to me. Yi Mo laughed like a maniac. Yi Xiao slowly approached Yi Mo, frowning. Yi Mo had never opened a single gate in the past 5 years, yet today, he managed to injure many of the Yi disciples, including Yi Ho, as well as murdering Yi Ming. This incredible power was indeed astonishing. You killed Yi Ming. According to the Yi Clan criminal law, your punishment is to be torn apart by 5 horses. What say you? Yi Xiao asked indifferently. Yi Xiao, as the head legal division, you jumped to the conclusion that I should be torn apart by horses without interrogating me as to why I killed Yi Ming. Don't you think that's a bit too hasty of you? Yi Mo replied coldly. There must be a reason behind all homicides. At this moment, the head of the martial division Yi Zhantian, Yi Ming's father Yi Di, and the head of Yi Clan, Yi Quan, all promptly arrived at the scene. As they noticed the casualties, they were all taken aback in shock. Especially Yi Di. When he saw his son Yi Ming lifeless on the floor, he was boiling with anger. Being torn apart by horses. That's too merciful. I'm going to kill him right now, Yi Di said, and with a wave of his right hand, a glowing red Yuanli claw grabbed Yi Mo by his neck, and as Yi Di increased his pressure, it looked as if the claw was going to strangle Yi Mo to death. Yi Zhantian flicked his wrist, causing the red Yuanli claw to vanish. Yi Zhantian, what is the meaning of this? Yi Di growled. Yi Mo killed his precious son. No matter how much torture or physical mutilation Yi Mo suffered, it would not be able to compensate for his son's life. Although Yi Mo killed your son, there is always a motive behind murder. You wanting to kill Yi Mo now is because he killed your son. So, when Yi Mo was killing your son, he must have had a reason, too, said Yi Zhantian. Although it was nearly impossible for him to rescue Yi Mo from this conundrum, since Yi Qing used to help him a lot, now he must try his best to save Yi Mo. Humph, Yi Di flicked his long sleeves, refusing to say anything else. Yi Mo, why did you want to kill Yi Ming and Yi Ho? Tell us the truth, Yi Zhantian asked. Now that everybody knows of my fallout with the Yi Clan, I'm going to tell you everything. How had the Yi Clan treated me ever since my dad fell from grace? My life was a living hell. It was worse than what the servants were subjected to. My dad gave the Yi Clan endless glory, and even the Door of Desolation showered Yi Clan with abundant resources, assisting the rise of Yi Clan to become one of the Big Four. But what did I get from Yi Clan in return? That Yi Ming knew I didn't possess any powers, so he always came to the pill refining chamber to steal ingredients. If he was in a bad mood, he would beat me up. Throughout these 5 years, I've been continuously bullied by him. As for my dad's loyal servant Uncle Fu, Yi Ming beat him to death. I can put up with the harassment and bullying. But why did he have to kill an innocent life? Uncle Fu was only an old man, one who had to witness the death of a young man who was like his son. Yi Mo's eyes were brimming with tears and his voice loud and clear, every single word hammering into the very hearts of his audience. Yi Mo looked around, pointed at the disciples, and sneered, all of you, tell me, which ones of you here have never laid a hand on me in these 5 years? All disciples looked down at their feet and held their tongue. You can't blame anyone if you're incompetent. A previously silent Yi Kuang suddenly barked. Incompetent. What about when Yi Ming and Yi Ho murdered Uncle Fu? Yi Ming laughed icily. An insignificant servant. So what if he died? You killed my son, and today, you will pay for it. Yi Di exclaimed and stepped towards Yi Mo. A wealth of Yuanli bursted forth from Yi Di's body. At this moment, Yi Mo felt an enormous, looming presence and could not move an inch. In the backyard of the Shao clan, Xiao Yu was practicing with her azure light sword. Suddenly, a flash of red appeared before her, and standing atop the pavilion was a veiled woman dressed in red clothing, the only thing visible being her captivating eyes, which were slanted like those of a phoenix. "Who's there?" Xiao Yu asked in alarm and lashed out her sword towards the top of the pavilion. An icy blue gleam radiated from the sword, traveled towards the crimson intruder, who extended a delicate arm and grasped the gleam, dissipating it. "Who are you?" Xiao Yu inquired again, a somber look on her face. "Do not ask who I am. Yi Mo needs your help. If the Shao clan wants to prosper, you must gather all your strength and save him." The woman declared and disappeared soon after. Chapter 35. Sealing the Energy Center. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Translator. Nyo.bo Studio Editor. Nyo.bo Studio. Yi Di slowly inched towards Yi Mo while Yi Kuang, Yi Xiao, and Yi Zhantian all stood still. Because Yi Mo had killed Yi Ming, the only thing that could appease Yi Di was Yi Mo's death. At first, Yi Mo was praying for Yi Zhantian to stand up for him, but now he finally understood that there was no one in Yi clan he could depend on. "You want to kill me? It won't be easy," Yi Mo said, making a grasping motion with his right hand. With that, the formation-breaking spear fell into Yi Mo's hands, as if it was an intelligent being. "How is this possible? Yi Mo hasn't reached the energy-shaping realm yet. How could he interact with physical objects without touching them? Yi Mo and the spear have reached a state of unification. The spear can perceive his emotions, and thus flew into his hand of its own accord. Chieftain, as of now, Yi Mo has demonstrated such power and potential. With more guidance he may even become a prodigy like young master," said Yi Zhantian to Yi Kuang, as a desperate final attempt to save Yi Mo. "The seeds of hatred have already been sown within Yi Mo. Even under my guidance, he will prove to be a menace to us," Yi Kuang said plainly. The power Yi Mo demonstrated today was indeed on par with Yi Chongseng. As for Yi Chongseng, he merely stood on the sidelines and stared intently at Yi Mo, his brows tightly knitted. "You're the first person who dares challenge a master of the energy-shaping realm." Yi Di scoffed. Without moving his body, he waved his arm, and with that, a stream of flaming red Yuanli gathered into a rope and coiled itself tightly around Yi Mo. He struggled against its grasp, yet the red Yuanli rope was like steel bars and were tightly wound around him. The more he struggled, the tighter it got. Yi Mo frowned. The rising dragon pillar vibrated once more, forming a huge black vortex. A strong force of attraction exploded out of his energy center, causing the ropes that were entangled around his body to slowly vanish. The rising dragon pillar could absorb Yuanli, and it could absorb evil energy. Naturally it could absorb this Yuanli too. Feeling the restriction from the Yuanli rope gradually subside, Yi Mo's whole body shuddered. The red Yuanli dissipated into a cloud of mist. When Yi Kuang and the rest of the onlookers saw this scene, the expression on their faces betrayed their utter disbelief. This technique was wielded by a martial artist of the energy-shaping realm. Someone in the spirit-cultivating realm would not even stand a chance against it. So how did Yi Mo manage to deflect it? This boy has extraordinary skill. He must not remain here, Yi Di thought, as he gathered Yuanli in his palm. A burning red sword materialized. He aimed at Yi Mo and went straight for the kill. Yi Mo must not die. Elder Yin hurriedly rushed towards the crowd and only wiped the cold sweat off his brow when he saw that Yi Mo was unscathed. Seeing Elder Yin rush to his defense, Yi Mo breathed a sigh of relief. With Elder Yin's arrival, his imminent death was temporarily halted. He could only hope for Qi Ying's appearance, as she had connections to an expert in the true energy realm. Her arrival would be the key to his survival. Once he was strong enough, he swore to come back and soak the heartless Yi clan in a bloodbath. "Elder Yin, Yi Mo killed my son. I must kill him in order to avenge my son." Yi Di's tone held a note of respect. Now that Elder Yin was a Phase 3 alchemist, not even Yi Kuang dared to cross him. Yi Di, can you possibly spare Yi Mo on my behalf? Elder Yin asked plainly. Elder Yin, Yi Mo killed my son. I will not let him go no matter what, Yi Di answered without hesitation. Although Elder Yin had a prestigious position, he had no power over the affairs of the Yi clan. As Yi Mo had killed Yi Di's son, not seeking revenge was out of the question. Elder Yin shook his head in resignation and said to Yi Kuang, Chieftain, I wish to use my status as a Phase 3 alchemist in exchange for Yi Mo's life. May I? A Phase 3 alchemist defending Yi Mo's life. Why would Elder Yin make such a sacrifice? Could it be that Yi Mo was indeed an alchemist genius, attracting Elder Yin's favor? Yi Kuang could not make sense of it, and neither could Yi Zhantian, Yi Kuang, Yi Shao, nor Yi Changsheng. The disciples around them were also in disbelief. What made Yi Mo so special that Elder Yin would use the authority of his Phase 3 alchemist status to save him? Elder Yin, I'm afraid you don't understand. Yi Mo killed Yi Ming, and even if I wished to spare him, there would inevitably be resentment from others in the clan, Yi Kuang said apologetically. Elder brother, didn't you buy a seal talisman at the auction? Sealing Yi Mo's energy center is also a form of punishment. Brother, what do you think? Yi Shao, the head of legal division, asked. Sealing Yi Mo's energy center could not only prevent Yi Mo from training ever again, it could also gain Elder Yin respect. Sealing a martial artist's energy center was the harshest punishment one could receive. In this world, an individual's aptitude was more important than his life, and without any powers, they were better off dead. Fine. Only because Elder Yin requested it, Yi Mo's life shall be spared. However, his energy center must be sealed, ensuring that he can no longer cause any more trouble. Yi Di did not dare to disrespect Elder Yin and quickly nodded his head in agreement. Haha. Sealing my energy center, aren't you a merciful bunch? Yi Mo let out a hysterical laugh. His father died from this seal, and once the energy center was destroyed, any attempt to manipulate Yuanli flow would result in the eruption of a Yuanli beast from the seal. It would destroy the energy center, and once it shattered, it might as well be a death sentence. Humph, Yi Mo, only because Elder Yin so kindly asked us to spare your life, did you manage to keep your life. You should treasure it, Yi Kuang said, a seal suddenly materializing in his hand. The piece of paper was about 2 inches long with complicated runes etched onto it in black ink. Yi Kuang suddenly appeared before Yi Mo, and under Yi Mo's terrified gaze, Yi Kuang slammed the seal directly onto Yi Mo's energy center. Wham! Oof! Yi Mo spat out a mouthful of blood. The seal was imprinted on his energy center. The dark runes traveled along Yi Mo's stomach and penetrated his energy center. The runes quickly formed a dark yuan seed suspended within the energy center. Whenever energy was manipulated within the energy center, and yuan qi was absorbed, the yuan seed would quickly transform into a Yuanli beast. Yi Mo, you injured multitudes of disciples, and you even killed Yi Ming. Although you are exempt from the death penalty, you cannot escape from your punishment. We will evict you from Yi clan, said Yi Kuang. The sealing of his energy center completely destroyed any of his hopes of training. Unless a highly skilled sealing artist intervened, Yi Mo could only live life as a civilian. Holding his stomach tightly, Yi Mo stared intently at every person in the vicinity, burning each and every person into his memory. The formation breaking spear buzzed angrily, as if it could feel its owner's fury. This spear is a magic weapon at the very least. Yi Ho, since you recently acquired a manual on spears, this is now yours. Yi Di gestured for the spear towards himself, and with that, a large Yuanli hand grasped onto the spear, bringing it to Yi Di's hands. A good weapon. Yi Ho, catch. Yi Di threw the spear towards Yi Ho, and Yi Ho leapt into the air, catching the spear in his hand. However, It was as if the spear had a mind of its own, as it shot out of Yi Di's hand and landed next to Emo once more, the impact causing Yi Di's hand to go numb. Huh, what a piece of trash. You can't even wield my weapon, and people call you a genius. Emo laughed hysterically. Chapter 36. A blessing in disguise, a friend in need is a friend indeed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translator. Nyo.bo Studio Editor. Nyo.bo Studio, this weapon is indeed very peculiar. Changsheng, go test this spear out, Yi Kuang said calmly, with his arms crossed behind his back. Yes, father. Yi Changsheng stood before the formation, breaking spear, which was humming and vibrating, as if it was mocking him. Yi Changsheng grabbed the spear with one hand, mustering up Yuanli the color of flames. With a tug, he lifted the spear. Changsheng, seeing as you have obtained ownership of the spear, it is now at your disposal. Once I find you a manual on marksmanship, Qin Hao's 2 sons won't even stand a chance against you, Yi Kuang said with a laugh as he walked out of the martial pavilion. Although the formation, breaking spear was very powerful, it was not sentient, and during its resistance against Yi Ho, the dragon power entangled in the spear had completely subsided. The crowd gradually dispersed. Yi Ming's corpse and several injured disciples were all taken away from the scene. Emo, I can only do so much for you, Elder Yin said with a sigh as he left the martial pavilion. Elder Yin had evidently gone out of his way to help Emo, and naturally, Emo had no reason to blame him. Emo scanned his inner body and observed the Yuan seed within his energy center. The seed resembled a ticking time bomb that could detonate at any moment. Yi Qing's death was possibly the most traumatizing to Emo, during which his energy center shattered, and out leapt a Yuanli beast. This Yuanli beast is, in essence, Yuanli. My rising dragon pillar is an artifact of the divine realm, one that can absorb all Yuanli in existence. What can this seal possibly do to me? After the realization hit, Emo smirked. The rising dragon pillar, as a product of the divine realm, would barely be affected by a measly rank 1 seal. Even a rank 2 or rank 3 seal would not stand a chance against it. Emo sat cross-legged on the floor, eyes partially shut, and began to manipulate the flow within his energy center. Yuan Qi of heaven and earth continuously flowed into the energy center, and as the Yuan Qi surged in, the dark glow emitted by the Yuan seed gradually grew, and out came a Yuanli eagle. The eagle grew in size until it was about to burst through the energy center. Roar! A monstrous howl erupted. It was the sound of a dragon's roar, the wrath of a great dragon. The rising dragon pillar shook once more, and a strong force of attraction enveloped the Yuanli eagle like a black vortex. A terrified expression appeared on the eagle's face, and with a meek flutter of its wings, it attempted to escape Emo's energy center and the pull of the black vortex. The vortex swirled and pulled the eagle right back, and the eagle gradually shrank in size as the vortex continued to pull it in, until it disappeared into thin air. 2 pairs of ruby-red eyes glimmered on the rising dragon pillar, indicating that the dragons had awoken once more. 8 black dragons circled the energy center and began to launch the assault on the gates of Emo's legs, creating crackling and popping sounds. The hem of his pants ripped under the force and, finally, Emo's leg gates were successfully unlocked. That old fart Yi Kuang would never have imagined this happening. Not only did the seal awake my 8th dragon power, but it also opened the gates in my legs. After the huge battle, Emo's legs were on the brink of having their gates unlocked due to the highly intensive movements. When 8 dragons all assailed the gate, naturally, they succeeded in unlocking it. Emo stood up and felt the surge of power from his lower limbs. 3 waves of dragon power simultaneously shot towards them and, with just one step, his legs transformed into a gust of wind, stirring up a strong gale within the martial training tower. In the blink of an eye, Emo had already arrived at the doors of the tower. Utilizing 3 lots of dragon power in his legs, he had already reached the speed and attack power of spirit cultivating 3rd realm. Within him, 8 channels of dragon power had awoken, and 4 gates could each receive 2 of those channels. His skill was equivalent to spirit cultivating second realm and, coupled with the unique feature of dragon power where they could stack up, not even a martial artist in spirit cultivating third realm could win against him. If he used the formation, breaking spear, those odds increased even more in Yi Mo's favor. Hey, you trash! Why are you still lingering here? You're no longer a disciple of the Yi clan. Leave the Yi complex, scram. A Yi clean disciple spat in distaste as he passed by the entrance to the martial training tower. I could crush this spirit cultivating first realm martial artist like an ant, but now is not the time. First, I must leave Yi clan and retrieve my spear. Once my power has increased sufficiently, I will come back and justice will be served, Yi Mo thought. He glared at the disciple, who quickly took a few steps back in fear. His gaze was akin to that of a terrible, ancient beast, evoking fear in those who gazed into them. This feeling. Hasn't his energy center already been sealed? Then why does it feel like he is more terrifying than before? Yi Mo headed towards the main gates of the Yi clan complex and noticed that the gates were thrown open and a small crowd of Yi disciples had congregated. Yi Kuang was also present and looked as if he was having a standoff with someone. Could that be that woman Qi Ying? Yi Mo thought as he slowly walked to the scene to investigate. Xiao Yuanshan, you come to my home, and you demand us to hand over Xiao clan's external aid. Well, let me tell you, there is no such person in Yi clan, said Yi Kuang. The two at the gate were Xiao Yuanshan and Xiao Yu. Xiao Yuanshan held a long steel sword, and resting on Xiao Yu's back was the azure light sword. Although it was encased in thick white cloth, it still emanated a soft azure glow. I am here for Yi Mo. He is my external aid. I humbly ask you, Uncle Yi, to spare Yi Mo, said Xiao Yu respectfully. Xiao Yu's words took Yi Kuang by surprise. Yi Mo becoming Xiao clan's external aid suggested that Yi Mo's allegiance was dubious. Now that his energy center had been sealed, nowhere in the entire continent would he find a place to call home. Oh, you're here for Yi Mo. Unfortunately, not only did Yi Mo kill my nephew, he also injured many of my clansmen. I have sealed his energy center and have banished him from our clan. It's up to you if you still want him. Yi Kuang smirked. What? You sealed his energy center? Xiao Yu frowned in astonishment. This wretch killed my nephew and injured our clansmen. I have shown utmost kindness and tolerance when I spared his life, Yi Kuang said coldly. Yi Mo slowly approached them and said, would you like a thank you for your utmost kindness and tolerance? Yi Mo, are you all right? Xiao Yu asked worriedly as she saw Yi Mo's defeated demeanor. Sensing Xiao Yu's genuine concern, Yi Mo felt a warm, fuzzy feeling in his heart. Shaking his head in reply, he said, I'm all right. Humph, Yi Mo, now that your energy center is sealed, there is no longer a place for you in Limestone City. Not even Xiao clan would want you, said Yi Kuang, as he left the scene with a flick of his long sleeve. Survival of the fittest, such was the laws of Lingwu continent. Clink. The gates of Yi clan closed shut, and Yi Mo was like a dog without its owner. However, he fully intended to come back in the future. Yu, Master Xiao, I knew the two of you would come. It must have been Qi Ying who informed you both. Well, now that I've lost all my abilities, what is your verdict? Yi Mo asked. He only became Xiao clan's external aid because of his abilities. If he indeed lost all of them, he wondered, how would Xiao clan view him? Xiao Yuanshan crossed his arms and gazed at Yi Mo with a calm expression. He could not detect an ounce of despair that should come from someone who had just lost all their powers. Was this really the demeanor of a 15-year-old? Unfortunately, in this world, losing one's powers meant that they no longer had any value. Without any value, Yi clan and Xiao clan's treatment of Yi Mo would not differ. The only reason why I am here is because Xiao Yu begged me to save you. Now that you have lost your abilities, I'm afraid there is no place for you in Xiao clan either. Xiao Yuanshan said. Father once told me that friendship, familial love, and even romance will all die in the face of adversity in this cruel world. Without strength, you have nothing. My mother is the prime example of this. Yet deep down, I always held the belief that friendship could be pristine and uncontaminated by these poor values. Looks like my father was right, Yi Mo replied calmly, and, as he turned around, he finally understood that he could only rely on himself if he wanted to survive. Looking at Yi Mo's back, Xiao Yu felt the azure light sword emitting waves of warmth. She ran to him and cried out, "Didn't you say that we were friends? Even without your powers, we are still friends. Even with your sealed energy center, I will help you remove the seal to the best of my abilities. Don't you forget that I am a sealing artist." Upon hearing her words, Yi Mo's body jolted and he stopped walking. He looked up and said happily, "Father, are you seeing this? Even though I have been abandoned by the Yi clan, I have a friend I can trust now." Chapter 37. The Deadly Curse. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Translator. Nyo.bo Studio Editor. Nyo.bo Studio. Xiao Yu, you need not associate yourself with the likes of this boy. Sealing talismans is one of the most intricate and difficult arts. If you wish to break the seal, you will need at least the skills of a rank 3 sealing artist. Now that the martial arts competition is coming up, I'm not even asking you to make any sacrifices for our clan, but I only hope that you will think about your own future, said Xiao Yuanshan. Papa, Yi Mo's beliefs are also my beliefs. He has been nothing but kind to me. Not only did he give me the azure light sword, he even promised to help me reach top 5 in the competition. I know he genuinely wishes to help me. Now that he lost all of his powers, I can't possibly just leave him, Xiao Yu said. A clear look of determination graced her face. He gave you the azure light sword. Didn't you say that the sword was given to you by a master of the true energy realm? Xiao Yuanshan inquired with surprise in his voice. I'm not that lucky. Yi Mo disguised himself as the master, and this sword was also obtained from the auction when he was in disguise, said Xiao Yu. Xiao Yuanshan had heard many rumors about this mysterious alchemist in the true energy realm. Not only could he create a stabilizing pill with aroma and markings, he could also subdue the evil energy coming from the spearhead, which even Yi Kuang did not succeed in doing. Yi Mo was indeed full of surprises. Yi Kuang was such a fool. So what if a useless nobody died? If Yi Mo's energy center had not been sealed, he could have represented Yi clan and easily surpassed Qin clan, and even become the Castellan of Limestone City. A pity. Xiao Yu, seeing your determination, I won't try to stop you anymore. But what will you do about the Limestone Champion List competition? Xiao Yuanshan sighed. Yi clan had Yi Changsheng Yi Ho, Qin clan had Qin Tianmu and Qin Xiaoyang, Mo clan had Mo Rulong and Mo Feng. Each of the prodigy's abilities and experiences exceeded Xiao Yu's by a lot. Not to mention that they all would be armed with weapons and be equipped with powerful techniques. Limestone Champion List. I suppose I will just have to try my best. Xiao Yu's fists were clenched tightly, and her palms were dotted in cold sweat. Her eyes that normally resembled the clear, round moon, were now clouded with worry. Now that Yi Mo had lost all his abilities, she was not confident in landing a place within the top 5 in the Limestone Champion List. In addition, Man Tai would definitely play dirty in the competition, meaning that she would be entirely on her own. Try. Don't worry, you won't have to. Yi Mo laughed lightly and walked towards Xiao Yu. His confidence and ease bad returned to his face, causing Xiao Yu to ask quizzically, you avoided the ceiling. This is no place to discuss important matters. Let's head back to the Xiao clan complex first. Yi Mo said as he allotted 6 dragons to his legs and dashed towards the Xiao complex. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared from where he was standing before. Xiao Yu, looks like Emo hasn't had his energy center sealed. He was just testing us. Xiao Yuanshan smiled ruefully. In the Xiao clan Great Hall, a curious Xiao Yu asked, Emo, what actually happened? Emo filled Xiao Yu in on what had transpired. Hearing his recounting of events, Xiao Yu's frown deepened with each passing moment, and when he reached the part where his energy center was being sealed, even Xiao Yu, who was normally very calm and collected, nearly swore out loud in anger. If your energy center was sealed away, how did you possibly undo the seal? Asked Xiao Yu. Xiao Yuanshan, who sat next to them, was silent the entire time, as he knew that he had left a bad impression. How could a measly seal possibly restrain me? In fact, not only did it fail to seal my energy center, it was actually a blessing in disguise, as it gave me the opportunity to unlock the gates within my legs, said Emo. Unlock your leg gates. How did you manage to do it so quickly? Xiao Yu asked in amazement. For most people in the corporeal strengthening realm, opening one gate on average took about half a year's time, which explained her utter amazement when she heard that Emo had opened both the gates in his legs. That is my secret. If anyone finds out, we will all be in danger, so I hope you won't ask me any more questions concerning it. Once I retrieve my formation, breaking spear from the Yi clan complex, I can face enemies up to spirit cultivating 5th realm. Once I open my last gate, none of these so-called prodigies in Limestone City will stand a chance against me. And after that, securing a spot amongst the top 5 champions will be a piece of cake, said Emo. Then go ahead and focus on training. You are welcome to stay at my home, and I will give you my full support, said Xiao Yuanshan. Uncle Xiao, although I do not like you, Ye is my friend. So, I will give you my help unconditionally. However, I won't be staying at the Xiao clan complex for the next few days, as I have some errands to run, said Emo. Emo, don't do anything reckless, said Xiao Yu. Don't worry. I know my own strength, I won't be seeking revenge from Yi Kuang at this stage, said Emo. Then where are you going? Asked Xiao Yu. I want to head to Spirit Valley. Spirit Valley. That's no place for people. It is thick with poisonous gas and heavily populated by vicious beasts. Even martial artists in the energy-shaping realm don't travel through there easily, said Xiao Yuanshan. Many adventurers entered Spirit Valley, seeking its treasures and exotic beasts, only to never return. Once there was a masterful energy-shaping realm martial artist who was very skillful, in that they were capable of creating a pair of wings using Yuanli. Yet even this person was rumored to have gone insane after venturing into the depths of Spirit Valley, and they died a gruesome death 1 month later. Uncle Xiao, don't worry. If I wasn't confident in my abilities, I wouldn't make this decision, said Emo. Well then you better be on your guard, reminded Xiao Yu, who noticed his resolve. Emo nodded and grinned at Xiao Yu. As he was about to leave, Xiao Yuanshan said, Emo, if you are going to Spirit Valley, can you do me a favor and seek out a plant, the Een poison grass? Een poison grass was a highly poisonous plant. Brief contact with its sap would be capable of causing instantaneous death. What do you need Een poison grass for? This plant is extremely toxic. I heard that it even has a poisonous snake guarding it, said Emo. Papa, this plant is too dangerous, it's better not to put Emo at risk, Xiao Yu said anxiously. Xiao Yuanshan ignored Xiao Yu and continued, Emo, I've once ventured into Spirit Valley too. Unfortunately I never succeeded. This plant is key to Xiao Yu's life, so I really hope you can keep an eye out for it. Alright, I shall try my best, said Emo. Xiao Yu took out a seal from her pockets and passed it to Emo, saying, Emo, this is a lightning seal. You can use it on your leg gates. When activated, you can reach up to spirit cultivating 7th realm. Thank you, Ye. With this seal in hand, I'm sure I will find the Een poison grass, said Emo with a smile, and then he turned around and left for his journey. After Yi Mo's departure, Xiao Yu said angrily, "Papa, have you lost your mind? Most people can't even approach the Yin poison grass, let alone Yi Mo, who hasn't even reached spirit cultivating realm. Are you trying to get him killed? Are you worried about him? Do you fancy him?" asked Xiao Yuanshan plainly. "Who said I fancy him? He's my friend, of course I will worry about him," said Xiao Yu, with a slightly embarrassed expression. "Xiao Yu, your curse will be fulfilled within 2 months' time. Not only your face, but your entire body will be covered in sores. Worst case scenario, your body will not be able to withstand the toxins, and you will essentially transform into a ticking time bomb. When it explodes, the entire limestone city will perish from the noxious fumes," said Xiao Yuanshan, his face etched with worry. In comparison to the championship, he was much more worried about the curse. When Xiao Yu was merely a toddler, she picked up a bead, thinking it was harmless. It wasn't, and it was this bead that inflicted the curse on her. If it was not for Xiao Yuanshan's timely intervention by using a profuse amount of yuanli to suppress the curse, it would have been fulfilled a long time ago. However, the curse seemed to have grown with Xiao Yu, as it had only gotten more powerful. Although the progression was slowed, Xiao Yu's face was marred by green sores due to the curse. Can he really bring back the Yin poison grass, wondered Xiao Yu. Chapter 38. Ambush in the Night. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translator. Nyo.bo Studio Editor. Nyo.bo Studio. Night had fallen. Limestone City was enveloped in a blanket of darkness. With the sound of the howling wind, it was a perfect night for murder. Clad in black gear, with a veil covering his face, was Yi Mo. However, he was not on his way to kill. Rather, he was planning to sneak into the Yi clan complex to retrieve his formation, breaking spear. Without his spear, he would not be able to use the formation, breaking spear techniques, meaning that his performance would consequently decline. The formation, breaking spear techniques were incredibly intricate, consisting of 3 main moves. The first one was great for both attack and defense, Voyage of the Dragon. Once the dragon emerges, the spear could rotate at high speeds, dodging attacks and attacking with strong forces among a horde of enemies. This move was extraordinarily powerful on the battlefield. So what if one was surrounded by enemies? Only one strike at the commander was all that was needed to win. Without the commander, the troops would inevitably surrender. The second move was Twin Dragons playing with a pearl, a purely burst-type move, where 2 shots were fired within a blink of an eye. It was a powerful attack as the 2 shots would stack up. As for the third move, it was a pure defense-type move. It would only be unlocked when Yi Mo had reproduced all the moves in the series of techniques. Without the spear itself, these were all talk and no walk. Furthermore, Yi Mo was headed to Spirit Valley, meaning that he definitely needed the formation, breaking spear, as any other spear would just not be the same. A shadow flitted across the skies. Yi Mo had successfully infiltrated the Yi clan complex. He activated the gates in his 2 legs, and utilizing the power of 3 dragons, his speed was equivalent to the spirit-cultivating 3rd realm. Yi Mo mustered up his strength and utilized Windward Dash, where he looked as if he was a gust of wind. There was no way the patrolling guards, who were in spirit-cultivating 1st realm, would notice. Yi Changsheng's room is just up ahead. Noticing the warm glow of lights before him, Yi Mo bent his knees and jumped a few meters in just 1 leap, stopping at the door within several seconds. Yi Mo held his breath and poked a small hole in the paper that covered the windows, noticing Yi Changsheng sitting cross-legged on the floor with his eyes shut tight, apparently in the middle of training. Tendrils of purple yuanli coalesced around his form. To reach spirit-cultivating realm and be able to release yuanli and use its raw form during attacks was considered rather powerful. Once energy-shaping realm was reached, not only could yuanli be released from the body, it could even be constructed into different forms, from daggers, to swords, to wings. And once true energy realm was reached, one could extend their perception into their surroundings. For example, in this situation, if both Yi Mo and Yi Changxing were at the level of true energy realm, Yi Mo would not be able to sneak up on Yi Changxing like this. Doesn't the Yi family only specialize in fire? Type. Why is Yi Changxing's Yuanli purple, and how come this purple Yuanli is making me sick to my stomach? Yi Changxing's purple Yuanli carried the scent of corruption. It was not a righteous Yuanli. The formation, breaking spear. Yi Mo turned and saw a weapon rack where his spear was. If Yi Changxing stayed in the room, it would be tricky if Yi Mo wanted to retrieve the spear. At his current skill level, he was no match for Yi Changxing. Even if he successfully retrieved it, leaving with the spear would also be difficult. If he attracted any spirit-cultivating sixth realm disciples, making an escape would be impossible. Someone's coming. Yi Mo's heart fluttered, and he leapt onto the roof. He walked on his tiptoes, not making a sound. With regard to control over his bodily movements, he was already an expert. Watching intently, he saw Yi Mei, who was dressed in pink robes, slowly approaching Yi Changxing's door. She seemed to have paused in deep thought, and a hint of conflict flashed across her face. A few moments later, she knocked on Yi Changxing's door. "Big brother Yi, it's me, Yi Mei." Yi Changxing opened his eyes, his handsome features marred by an eerie smile. The surrounding purple mist was sucked into his body. Yi Changxing said casually, "Little sister Yi Mei, what is it?" "I just opened my last gate and reached spirit cultivating realm. I have been troubling over which mental technique to specialize in, and I was hoping you could give me some guidance," said Yi Mei. Yi Mei must really be a genius, reaching spirit cultivating realm before 14 years of age. Not even Yi Changxing could compare. Yi Mo thought with astonishment, as not even Yi Changxing had reached spirit cultivating realm when he was Yi Mei's age. "Come in." Yi Mei's eyes lit up with joy as she entered the room. Yi Changxing stood up and said, with a smile in his eyes, "Yi Mei, I heard you had successfully reached spirit cultivating first realm yesterday. Congratulations." "Thank you, brother. Today I heard that Yi Mo was at the martial pavilion. He killed Yi Ming and even injured many disciples," said Yi Mei. "Yi Mo is a vile creature. Now that my father has sealed his energy center, he is no different from a disabled person," said Yi Changxing. "Oh, but big brother, then where is Yi Mo now?" asked Yi Mei, her eyes large and round with curiosity. Yi Changxing frowned and said, "Didn't you come here to seek guidance with mental techniques? Why did you suddenly ask about Yi Mo? Did he cross you? If he did, I can order someone to finish him off." No, he's just some disabled person, we shouldn't hold it against him." Yi Mei waved her hand in dismissal. "Actually, big brother, it's getting late, I really should be going." Yi Changxing took one step forward, stood by Yi Mei's side, and smiled, "Going? Since you're already here, you should stay." "Big brother, what are you doing?" Yi Mei was a bit alarmed, as she could feel that Yi Changxing was a bit different than how he was before. "Yi Mei, I recently acquired a manual on conjoint training, which can greatly speed up the training process. Now that you're in the spirit cultivating realm, why not train with me?" Yi Changxing's grin was laced with perversion. "Conjoint training? You're out of your mind, let me go." Yi Mei knew clearly what conjoint training entailed and wanted to leave the room immediately. "Yi Mei, as long as you agree to do it with me, I can definitely achieve a breakthrough into the spirit cultivating sixth realm. After that, I can enter the three major alliance and rise up above all people. As for you, you will get plenty of benefits too. Not only will your complexion improve, your training progress will also greatly increase. This time next year, you will become the top martial artist in Limestone City," said Yi Changxing. "Yi Changxing, I can't believe you're like this." After hearing his words, Yi Mei slapped him across the face, cheeks red and flustered from a mixture of embarrassment and anger. Feeling the sting from that slap, Yi Changxing reached out and slapped Yi Mei's face and hissed, "Stupid whore, how dare you hit me?" "Yi Changxing, am the famed prodigy of Limestone City. If word got out, what woman in their right mind would not want to perform conjoint training with me? You are shameless. Yi Changsheng, don't you dare lay a finger on me. I will tell my father. Yi Mei sobbed. Originally she only wanted to ask about Yi Mo's whereabouts. Who would have thought that she would end up in the wolf's den? I am the prodigy of Yi clan. If Yi clan wanted prosperity, only I can give it to them. So even if I killed you right now, I won't get into any trouble, Yi Changsheng said in a fit of rage. Chapter 39. Clean your neck and prepare to die. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translator. Nyo.bo Studio Editor. Nyo.bo Studio. Viewing this scene, Yi Mo could feel the anger rising within him, as well as the urge to tear Yi Changsheng apart, but he knew that he must wait for the right moment to strike, which was when Yi Changsheng was distracted. That way, he was more likely to successfully retrieve the formation, breaking spear as well as rescue Yi Mei. Yi Mo gritted his teeth and suppressed his anger. You filthy pig. I will kill you, Yi Mei said, agitated, hurling her fist towards him. Kill me. Once I'm finished with you, you will realize the beauty of conjoint training, said Yi Changsheng without flinching, intercepting her attack and grabbing her wrist with his large hand. He sneered, you dare challenge me? You animal. Yi Mo spat. He leapt up into the air and landed in the room, making a beeline for the formation, breaking spear. Who's there? Yi Changsheng's face lit up with surprise, and he immediately stood up and spotted Yi Mo, who was clad in black. Who are you? How dare you trespass on the Yi clan complex, he said icily. I am here for the formation, breaking spear, as well as to take your life. 3 dragons made their way towards his right hand's gate. As he spun the spear in his hands, 2 shots were fired, both sailing towards Yi Changsheng at an incredible speed and eventually merging into one singular shot, as if it was a beast bearing tides of wrath. Twin dragons playing with a pearl. You, who hasn't even reached spirit cultivating realm, want to kill me, snickered Yi Changsheng as he prepared to intercept the attack with phantom serpent palm. Yet as his right hand was about to coil around the spear, an enormous wave of power surged towards him. He quickly recoiled in shock, retracting his right hand, yet it was already too late. Yi Mo might not have reached spirit cultivating realm yet, but with his 3 units of dragon power, coupled with the formation, breaking spear and its techniques, he could easily take down an unarmed Yi Changsheng. Ow! Yi Changsheng's right hand was slashed open by a deep cut, and droplets of blood sprayed out. Yi Mo aimed at Yi Changsheng and fired another shot, but this time, Yi Changsheng reacted quickly and dodged the attack. Yi Mo's shot missed Yi Changsheng. Nevertheless, a loud, earth-shattering bang reverberated in the room, causing the nearest wall to shatter and forming a large hole. Yi Mo, without skipping a beat, dashed towards the opening, grabbed Yi Mei, and leapt out of the room. Yi Mo, a bewildered Yi Changsheng muttered. He transformed into a gust of wind and headed towards Yi Mo's direction, hot on his heels. The 2 flitted about against the backdrop of the night sky, the sound of their footsteps pattering on the tiles. Yi Mo turned to look at Yi Changsheng, who was getting closer by the second. Awakening all of the dragon powers within him, Yi Mo's running speed increased once more. But despite this, the distance between them decreased again. This was because Yi Changsheng had had more training and experience than Yi Mo, plus the fact that he was using windward dash, and that Yi Mo was carrying both Yi Mei and his spear. In the blink of an eye, Yi Changsheng had caught up to Yi Mo on the streets just outside of the Yi clan grounds. All was quiet and not a single soul was to be seen in the vicinity. Under the light of the flickering lanterns and the faint glow of the moon, they could only see the silhouette of one another. Yi Changsheng stood before Yi Mo and asked darkly, "You are Yi Mo?" His right hand was still dripping with fresh blood. The renowned prodigy of Limestone City. To think that he would coerce his fellow disciples into conjoint training. If word of this spread to the public, I can safely say that you will be saying goodbye to your title, Yi Mo said in a deep voice. Standing behind him was Yi Mei, whose hands were clasped in front of her chest, her cheeks flush with a mixture of embarrassment and anger. Did you think you would live to tell the tale? Yi Changxing taunted. A brilliant red spark flashed in his palm, and with that, a flaming crimson sword materialized in his left hand. The sword emitted a bright red glow, lighting up the previously dim street. Clearly, Yi Changxing carried a murderous intent toward Yi Mo. Not only did Yi Mo get in his way with Yi Mei, he also injured his right hand and stole his spear. True, I am no match for you at this moment. But if you're going to stop me, you can try. Yi Mo uttered coldly. Yi Changxing struck his sword into the air in an arc, and around him, 5 fiery copies of his sword appeared, floating in the air. As if it was imbued with infinite power, his sword glowed crimson. With a powerful thrust, the 5 swords rippled across the air and aimed towards Yi Mo's head. 6-pillar sword style, excelling in both attack and defense, as well as immobilizing one's enemy. Yi Changxing utilized this technique, thus holding Yi Mo captive. 6-pillar sword style was an elaborate yet powerful technique, and the Yi clan was famous for their powerful rendition of the 6-pillar formation. With hundreds of disciples forming the swords, tens of thousands of swords would suspend in the air, forming a barricade around their enemies. This was a remarkable technique in that even martial artists in the true energy realm would not let their guard down before it. The 5 swords had indeed captured Yi Mo in a circle, preventing him from escaping. A flash of red glimmered and headed straight for Yi Mo. Be careful, this technique is one of the more advanced ones in our clan. It is versatile and unpredictable, and is on par with a martial technique of low-grade spiritual level, said Yi Mei from the side, who did not leave despite the danger. Boom! With one hand holding Yi Mei, Yi Mo's right leg trembled and crackled with electricity. The ground on which he stood shuddered in an explosive bang, and with that, he disappeared from the scene. Yi Changxing, at the championships, you better clean your neck and prepare to die. The 5 swords clattered onto the ground, forming a large crater. Yet Yi Mo and Yi Mei had already vanished into the thin air. Body seals could be placed within the gates of the lower limbs, and when fused with the Yuanli of the user, it could temporarily increase one's speed. Sealing artists were valuable precisely because of that. One small piece of paper embodying the seal could hold enormous power, or serve as a ticket to escape. The Seal of Lightning was a rank 1 body seal. To activate it, one simply needed to place it on the gates of their legs and imbue it with Yuanli. With that, they would be fast as lightning, their speed reaching up to spirit cultivating 7th realm. Yi Mo invested all 6 dragon power in there, amassing the powers of spirit cultivating 7th realm. Yi Mo's words rang in Yi Changxing's ears. Looking down at the hollow crater, Yi Changxing let out a cold sneer. Don't think you can even make a scratch on me at the championships. Not even with those newfound powers of yours. I'll make sure you get what you deserve for crossing me, Yi Changxing. A pang of sharp pain from his right hand hit him. In a fit of rage, he thrusted his sword out into the air, and in a flash of red, the corner of a building was sliced clean off. Yi Mo, you're dead meat, his voice thundered, traveling along the street. There was only 1 month left until the Limestone City Championships. Yi Mo was confident that he could reach spirit cultivating realm, meaning that by then, his body would be stronger and able to harbor more dragon power. The power of dragons originated from the ancient beasts, the ancestors of all creatures, capable of slaying monsters and other beasts. With sufficient time, Yi Mo knew that he would be able to find his father's killer, as well as seek out his mother, according to his father's wishes. Mom's family must be one of the biggest clans within Lingwu continent. Maybe they consider my bloodline tainted as an illegitimate son, explaining why my mother has never attempted to find me. I will use my 2 hands to crush the pride of those people, just you wait. Chapter 40. Making a move. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translator. Nyo I.bo Studio Editor. Nyo I.bo Studio Yemo, with Yi Mei in his arms, bursted through the window of a nearby inn. Stay here tonight. You can head back to the Yi mansion tomorrow morning, said Yemo. Are you Yemo? Yi Mei blinked in surprise. Whether I am Yemo or not is unimportant. Yi Changxing's conjoint training is considered a perverse technique, commonly practiced by those in cults. Although it can bring enormous power, it's bound to have some serious repercussions. I can't believe the lengths he is willing to go to just to become stronger. Yi Clan needs to be careful of his hunger for power, Yemo said, leaving the inn. That must have been Yemo, but I can't believe how strong he has become now, said Yi Mei with a hint of a smile. With his formation, breaking spear back at his side, Yemo no longer cared if anyone recognized him. The only thing that worried him was Yi Changxing's method of training. Conjoint training was, in other words, a form of training that involved the physical union of a man and a woman. This technique was allegedly created and extensively used by certain unorthodox cults, harboring enormous power but also some serious flaws. Arg, I'll worry about this later. Now that I have the formation, breaking spear, I must head to the Spirit Valley with Qi Ying. In preparation for his journey, Yemo stayed up all night practicing formation, breaking spear techniques. The following morning, Yemo made haste to the 100 Treasure Pavilion. A relieved smile graced his face when he spotted Xiao Chao. Xiao Chao was no longer dressed in servant robes but rather, was dressed in spring green robes. She had on soft makeup that accentuated her features that made her look like as beautiful as a water lily breaking out of the water. She rushed towards Yemo and exclaimed, "Young Master Yemo. Thank goodness you are all right. Xiao Chao, I promised I would give you a better life. Who's going to look after you if I'm not around anymore?" said Yemo, patting Xiao Chao's head gently. "Young Master Yemo, you're going to look after me?" Xiao Chao asked in surprise. As a servant, she had always put others before her and had never had anyone promise to look after her as Yemo did. "You're like a sister to me. Of course I will look after you. From now on, I am your brother, not your young master," Yemo said warmly. "Yes, brother." Xiao Chao nodded excitedly. "Brother. How adorable," said Qi Ying as she approached them. "Miss Qi Ying, thank you so much," Yemo said. "Qi Clan is a notable family. However, since we are not allowed to meddle in the affairs between other clans, my only option was to send Xiao Clan to your aid. But look at you. You definitely look like you've improved again," said Qi Ying, with a barely noticeable curl of her sweet seductive lips, like a rose in bloom. If Xiao Chao was a lily, then Qi Ying was a rose. Qi Ying may look beautiful, but beware of her thorns. "It's actually all thanks to you that I've made a new friend," said Yemo, thinking about Xiao Yu. Qi Ying smiled. "Innocent people like you are rare nowadays. Anyways, we need to make haste for the Spirit Valley." Yemo nodded, bid Xiao Chao goodbye, and left the 100 Treasure Pavilion with Qi Ying. There were true energy realm masters residing at the pavilion, so Yemo felt that Xiao Chao was in safe hands. Although Tianwu Kingdom was a small kingdom within the zone of desolation, it was the home to many rough terrains, and Spirit Valley was one of them. The three major alliances would often assign missions in the Spirit Valley. The cacophony of birds and beasts added a lively note to the lush green forest. These creatures were normal animals rather than their savage, monstrous counterparts. The shadows of a man and a woman darted rapidly between the trees, flitting about between the foliage like arrows. Yemo was dressed in all black. As for Qi Ying, rather than her usual Chinese gown, she was also dressed in black. The form-fitting garb further accentuated her curves, increasing her allure. Qi Ying slowed down her pace. As she was in energy-shaping 7th realm, if she ran at full throttle, Yemo would not be able to keep up. Glancing at Qi Ying, Yi Mo was surprised that she had already reached energy-shaping 7th realm at the young age of 18. Reaching that stage at 18 was a stunning feat for most martial artists. Having reached spirit-cultivating realm at 14 would already set them apart as a prodigy or genius. To have reached energy-shaping realm at 18 was rarely seen, yet Qi Ying had reached the energy-shaping 7th realm by the time she was 18. Yi Mo knew full well that the Qi clan was the largest merchant family in Tianwu Kingdom. The wealth they possessed could amass great armies and even topple a small kingdom. Evidently, they were extremely powerful. For someone as talented as Qi Ying, what could possibly have attracted her to Limestone City, a relatively rural area, to work as the manager of a small store? Yi Mo shook his head in disbelief, staring at Qi Ying's beautiful face. He was burning with curiosity. Suddenly, Yi Mo and Qi Ying both landed in a clearing. A moment later, they vanished as they landed on the ground, causing a small pile of fallen leaves to swirl in the breeze. Swoosh! Not a moment after they disappeared, a group of 10 or so people arrived at the scene. There were 7-foot tall, burly men, all very tan, with fierce expressions on their faces. The other 3 were of average stature. One of them was female. These 3 were in fact the people Yi Mo bumped into the other day at the 100 Treasure Pavilion. Mo Feng, Mo Chihu, and Mo Xiaohu. The remaining 7 people were warriors of the barbarians, and needless to say, Man Tai was present as well. Among them was a warrior who looked older than the rest but had the body of a Greek god with muscles chiseled and hard as rock. Man Tai, Yi Mo was the one who disguised as the elderly man in the black robes at the auction, said Mo Feng. We'll follow them closely. With my uncle around, we don't have to worry about Qi Ying. She's just a woman, said Man Tai, who only just discovered that Qi Ying was already in the energy-shaping 7th realm. In order to target Qi Ying, Man Tai had hired a strong warrior in his clan specifically for this mission who had already reached energy-shaping 8th realm, perfect for subduing her. Yi Mo pissed me off the last time we crossed paths. I forgave him then, but now he's really foiled our plans. We must take him down, said Mo Feng, who licked his lips in anticipation.